End of the year lists. I'm surprised I've waited this long. I usually do my best of the year in like early November, um, which is obviously too soon because there's still records coming out. But usually I have 20 or 30 records that uh, would be considered for my year end. This year it's a lot. It's a much shorter list, and I think now, having been collecting records, for 35, 40 years, um, and especially in the sort of in today's music market, or today's market for vinyl collectors, I think a list at the end of the year covering sort of the best records that you bought this year. Could be from a sound perspective for people who are more on the audiophile front, which I'm not, or it could just be reissues or albums that finally got issued on vinyl. That is the next video that I will do, and that'll cover the stuff that I've listened to the most. And this has just been a tremendous year on that front, from UHQRs to Vinyl Me Please, which I've just been thoroughly impressed with their output, the sound, their selection is fantastic, at least for me. But they seem to offer a pretty diverse catalog for a wide range of listeners. But to start it off, I'm going to do what I've done since, I don't even know, 1990, my top 10 records of the year. Some of these I'm going to confess I haven't listened to all that much, but a few spins, and they made the they made the top 10. So, and three of them I don't have on vinyl. I'll explain that in a minute. But let's just get into it. So at number 10, which I do not have on vinyl, there we go. Got the iPad Mini, my favorite new device. The Hooray the Riff Raff record, Life on Earth. I love all their records. The Navigator is probably my favorite, but everything that they put out is just tremendous. And I have this. See, this one I do have on vinyl, but I can't find it. So part of my Thanksgiving holiday task list is to start getting these records arranged pretty well. I'll go through this one day, but these are all alphabetized, and there's box sets on the bottom. Then I have two other huge or large storage areas, and I need to start making some rhyme and reason. I forgot to put my computer on sleep. And then especially, I think I've mentioned that there's a possibility I could be moving to Southern California. So if that happens, all these records are coming with me, and I'll have to start from scratch. But if it doesn't, it's time to get these in order. So, number 9, a record that I've listened to a bunch and have really enjoyed, the Bill Callahan new record, Reality. Bill Callahan puts out a record nowadays, and he makes my top 10s. My buddy Brian was a huge fan of Bill Callahan's Smog when I wasn't, and now just similar to Bonnie Prince Billy, two of my favorite artists ever that he turned me on to. So that's in at number 9. It is not available on vinyl yet. It's on Drag City. I believe it's coming out in late January, so I will be getting that when it comes out. Number 8 is a record that has snuck up on me recently and has been a very pleasant return to form for an artist. And this is the Josh Rouse record, Going Places. Great cover. I think he lives in Spain now. From 2001 or 2 to 2005, Josh Rouse had a run. Those are my final years in Brooklyn, and he had released 3 in a row, Under Cold Blue Stars, 1972, and Nashville, and they're almost all perfect. I've told this story, but my buddy Dave, who one of my longest friendships, who lives in Brooklyn and lived in Brooklyn at the time, it was one like Saturday afternoon or something, and he said, "Hey, I got a record you want to hear. Why don't you come over?" And I got on the F train and went over to his place, and he put on the Josh Rouse record Under Cold Blue Stars, which had just come out, and we had seen him open up for Sunvolt, and we weren't really that into him. And I remember my buddy Dave was playing this, and I was like, "Who is this? This is great." He's like, "This is that guy Josh Rouse," and then went on to see him many, many times. We saw him two shows in one night at the 92nd Street Y. It's like a foot of snow on the ground. It's a great, great night. We sat right in front of him, threw out requests. But this record I've really, really been enjoying. I listened to it twice today. Hollow Moon is a great song. Very much just back to sort of the Nashville sound that Josh Rouse had in the mid 2000s. It's coming in at number 7, a record I haven't listened to enough. You see your theme here, but when I do, I love it. And this is the Linda Linda's record, Growing Up. The song "Oh," which starts the record, is great. They obviously became sort of, they hit the indie rock radar during the pandemic when they performed a song called "Racist Sexist Boy" at, I think, the Los Angeles Public Library, one of the libraries in Los Angeles. And it was just if you haven't seen it, you gotta look it up. It's incredible. The Linda Lindas, they're young. I think their age is like 12 to 17 or maybe 12 to 16. They've toured a bunch. Have I seen them live? No, I have not seen them live. But this is just a very fun record by a foursome that clearly has a bright future in rock and roll and music. So the Linda Lindas coming in at number 7. 6, an artist I didn't know before this year, Angel Olsen, Big Time. Love this record. I listen to it often. Just a fantastic 2 openers, All the Good Times and Big Time. Tremendous 1-2 punch. A great, great record, and an artist that I need to listen to more. I think we're at 5. Yeah. 5, Kevin Morby. He puts out records now. He makes my list. I saw Kevin Morby for the first time, I've mentioned, at Solid Sound, Wilco's Festival. I think it was the 2015 version, maybe 13. I think it was 15. And one of the greatest things about Solid Sound is you're often introduced to music that you otherwise didn't know going in. Kevin Morby, I discovered there. Tons of the next record I discovered that artist there. But Morby is just a great talent. Obviously, he is partners with Katie Crutchfield. I think I had trouble pronouncing it last time, from Waxahachie. So what a tremendous talent, or what tremendous talent coming out of that home. So that's Kevin Morby. Number 4, also discovered at Solid Sound, Joan Shelley, The Spur. This one took me a while. You can see this isn't opened. This is a Vinyl Me Please copy. I have a regular copy too. This is an exclusive 500 copies. Amberlit Morning with Bill Callahan is gorgeous. Joan Shelley, maybe my favorite artist going right now. She's right near the top. Over and Even is gradually moving into my top 20 of all time. Her and I think she's married to Nathan Salzberg, and they live in Louisville. And just, I love following their Instagram feed. They're just such kind people. And her live performances, look them up on YouTube, are just remarkable. Nathan's an incredible guitar player. He's got a bunch of great records under his name. So Joan Shelley, one of the greatest songwriters, I think, ever. 3 is the Plains record, and this is Katie Crutchfield right here from Waxahachie, and she partnered up with Jess Williamson for this record. This is one I've just been getting into a lot, excuse me, lately. Abilene, Problem with It, This Summer Sun. This could ultimately be my favorite of the year, but right now it sits at number 3. Number 2 is a record that I thought was definitely, after I first heard it, was definitely going to be my favorite of the year. And this is Spoon's Lucifer on the Sofa. I don't know if it's Spoon's best record, but it's close. Held, I mean, they open with a Bill Callahan cover, and it's a brilliant cover. Then The Hardest Cut, The Devil and Mr. Jones, Wild and My Babe, that side is just tremendous. So Spoon, Lucifer on the Sofa, and then finally, not on vinyl, and probably not a surprise to anyone, it's coming out on vinyl soon, the Wilco record, Cruel Country. My favorite Wilco record, definitely since The Whole Love, which I think is a very underrated Wilco record. That came out in 2012. And with more spins, it could be my favorite of theirs since Sky Blue Sky, or even Foxtrot, maybe Ghost is Born. 21 songs, double album. This came out of nowhere. I don't think we even knew they were working on it. It was another gift from the pandemic. All the musical gifts we've received, live shows. That's something I've wanted. Maybe I'll say that here. All the artists, from Jeff Tweedy to Gary Loris to Rhett Miller to Joe Pug, just all the artists who have done these in-home performances during, what was a very lonely time for a lot of people. I just can't thank them enough. Tweedy and his wife, Susan Miller, had the Tweedy Show, which was great. I tuned in to probably 50 of them. Yeah, it's just thank God for music, right? So there's a lot of good songs on here. I Am My Mother is probably my favorite song of the year. Lyrically, musically, Cruel Country, Hints, Darkness is Cheap, A Lifetime to Find, Heart's Hard to Find, just The Plains to close it. Just a beautiful record. And apparently they have something else in the works, which may not be too far off. But this is my favorite album of 2022. As I mentioned, I will do a video probably over this Thanksgiving break on the best records, not the best records I bought this year, irrespective of when they were released. So I will get to that. And then lastly, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I again just wanted to express my gratitude to the people who watch these videos, family, friends, people I've never met, some people that I now feels like I know them, John Rincon, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your last name right, and many, many, many others. I think it's Ash Robinson. You guys, a lot of people have just said some really, really nice things. Social media, you think, obviously can get pretty bad, but I've had almost no experience with that. The people who comment and message, or just comment, I guess, have all been supportive, kind. They give me good feedback. I have a lot of fun doing this. And I am looking forward, I think that Tom Petty live box set is supposed to arrive today, 1997 at the Fillmore, so looking forward to that. I'll do some more giveaways in the, let's just say after the new year. But thanks for coming by, thanks for supporting, and I wish you all a great holiday, and I will check back in soon. Take care.